All right, what up, what up, what up, what up? You already know what it do. It's your boy Vito, and it's time to learn something new. So, if you haven't heard, or you've been living under a rock, well, I'm here to let you know to spread the good word. GPT Mini 4o is in the building. So, I was just trying to rhyme there. Didn't really work too well. But GPT 4o Mini was just released today, and it offers very, very good price at first glance. So we can see, we go to their website, we see this announcement, GPT-4o Mini, advancing cost-efficient intelligence, introducing our most cost-efficient small model. So this is going to be a replacement of GPT 3.5, it looks like. So it's priced at 15 cents per million input tokens and 60 cents per million output tokens. For context, I'm a Claude Haiku fanboy. Okay, I love Claude 3 Haiku. I love it. But GPT-4o Mini is cheaper, y'all. It's 0.25 cents per input, 1 million input, and then $1.25 for 1 million output. So, I mean, at first glance, it's pretty good. We go down here. We just look at these benchmarks. You know, this stuff is good. It's good to look at, of course. But is it the end all be all? Like, for instance, I look here, and it's saying 3.5 turbo is pretty close to Haiku, which, I mean, in practice, let's be real, I don't know if that's 100% true. I haven't used Gemini Flash too much, but it's saying GPT-4o Mini is just topping the charts of all of these. And of course, 4o is just supposed to be all the way up here in a league of its own. Yeah, I mean, you can look at this. They're all pretty close. Where 4o is supposedly 4o Mini is supposedly leading all of these in these different evaluations. So human eval, GPQA, drop, all that good stuff, MLU. So, I mean, you can take the benchmarks with a grain of salt. We're going to look at some real world use cases. So let's just jump right into that. So first and foremost, what I want to show you is running this. We're going to run this, and I'm going to show you one of my more complex tasks. So basically, I have a website, offers bpdata.io. And what you can do is you can type in a customer problem. We don't know how to do cloud deployments. Help. And then I can go ahead and hit the generate button. And so right now, this is actually tied to GPT-4o Mini. I'm going to show you just a slight speed test in another window, but we're going to go ahead and just generate so you can see firsthand what it looks like on a front-end application. And basically what this does is it's attempting to generate some solutions for you. So done for you, done with you, and then do it yourself. So we see here lack of knowledge and expertise in cloud deployments, and it breaks down this higher level problem into sub problems. So these are probably going to be other things that you're going to run into when you're trying to do cloud deployment. So sub problems, you might have the problem of research the fundamentals of cloud computing to build a strong foundation knowledge, identify and select a specific cloud service provider, right? So these are going to be other things you're going to have to do in order to solve this. Then we have some objections to you not wanting to do this. So we don't have enough time to conduct a thorough assessment of current deployment process. There isn't enough budget available to comprehensive training. And okay, you have all these objections. Now let's come with the solutions, y'all. The solutions. We like solving them problems. So what I could propose to you for you to do it yourself is utilize free online resources to conduct basic training sessions on new communication tools at the user's pace. So maybe I might say workshops.aws or something like this, right? I might do something like this and be like, you know what? Let's get your team together and let's go ahead and do some workshops at AWS. Or I can do something for you, done for you, right? Conduct an exhaustive assessment of current communication methods and deliver a report outlining key issues and improvements needed. So I could work with you or done for you. You give me permissions to your particular environment. I can go and look and document how you're currently doing deployments today. Or I just do it with you, you know what I'm saying? So I co-facilitate a workshop to identify communication gaps and develop a tailored cloud strategy. Or I guide your team through a hands-on session on how do you, so you get the point what I'm trying to say here, right? Basically, these are all generated by GPT-4o Mini. what I want to show you right now is just quickly, I have this running right here. And what I'm going to do is, this is GPT-4o mini. I'm going to restart this. And this framework, what we're using on the back end is LightRAG. For the plug, I actually think it's a pretty good library. It's actually really good. I like it. It's super composable. So if you go to LightRAG.sylph, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, go ahead and let me know in the comments. .ai, and you can start using this library today. Basically, it's the PyTorch for LLM applications. I actually did a contribution. The maintainers, her and her colleagues, Li Yin, she's super helpful. So if you're looking to help out or contribute to a library, you can go ahead and do it with this one. You're going to have to do a proposal first, but they're looking for contributors. So jump right into that. So we're using that to run this inference, or really mock out the backend for this application. And we're using this model here, GPT-4o mini. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and run a generation. So let's go boom. And really the goal here is to see how fast it takes, or how long it takes to generate this particular output. And you're starting to see we're getting some output now. And what we're going to do is we're going to pair this against Haiku. And I'm just pure looking at speed. I already know Haiku gives pretty good output, and it follows structured output quite well. I can show you all the traces. Let me know if you want to see those in the comments. So this took 18 seconds here. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to swap this out. And this is really good with the LightRAG framework. So this always gets me when I'm trying to type this stuff in. And then I'm going to go ahead and pass in max tokens as well. So I can just swap these out quite quickly. And then I have the flexibility to just pass in the string for the model that I want to use. So yeah, it's super extensible, right? Just literally swap out one parameter and we're good to go. So now I'm going to test Haiku. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the same thing. Yet again, we saw that took 18 seconds, about almost 19 seconds, right? You know, we're going to round up. We'll round up for this too. And we're starting to see some output come out right now. And of course, you can go to offers.bp data and you can check out the output for yourself. The backend on that is GPT-4o mini. So you can go ahead and put in your problems or your customers' problems and see what you get. So Haiku actually went on the speed this time. So 16 seconds. Let's round it up, say 17, right? It's about 2-second differential. Lack of expertise with CDK, ensuring, okay, so assess current skill level. So if you look at these are almost, in essence, like very similar outputs. So if I go down to the problems here, I know this is hard to read. Just bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Stay with me, please. So I'll walk you through the process of understanding AWS security services, how to implement robust identity and access management control step by step. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll do that with you. I'll take care of documenting. Okay, so the deployment and ensure consistency across applications. So you can see 2 seconds. The output is relatively the same from both of these models. So I'd say that's, it's looking pretty good. If I needed something a little bit cheaper, right? There's a new model on the block. And I think it's 10 cents cheaper than Haiku, GPT-4 mini 4o or 4o mini. It's 10 cents cheaper on the input, and then about, I'd say 65 cents cheaper. So it's about half the cost on the output, which is really good, really, really good. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to look at another use case here. And this one is really simple here. So what we're going to do is a function call. And side note, this LightRAG doesn't actually use function calling like other libraries use function calling. It actually outputs the signature into a string. So it's going to be a little bit different. Just so you're forewarned when I run this. We'll see what happens with it. But what we're going to do first is we got GPT-4o mini. So we got it in here. Let's just go ahead and run this real quick. So we're going to Python local test. Let's see what we get. Oh, looks like we got some output, y'all. So looks like it does function calling. Let's run that again. One more time. Yeah, it looks like it's doing what we expect it to do, which is amazing. So next we're going to go ahead and say Claude 3 Haiku 2024-0307. And we're going to go ahead and swap out this model client for the Anthropic API client. And let's run that one more time. Uh-oh. Something is wrong here. Got it. Right. I don't have max tokens here. So this requires max tokens. And we should see it go burr. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I didn't time that one, but they both give function calling, which is good. Then you can go ahead and probably pass it to this sequential. So what we can do is we can go ahead and say our second one, let's call this synth. And this is going to take the same thing. So let's say model client and we'll pass it to Anthropic. And it's going to do the same thing, right? So ant model quargs, and then we're going to go ahead and say our prompt. We just want this to be input, actually. So if we look at this function call, it's going to look for an input string. So what we want to do, we see here, yeah, that's actually correct. So we say this is going to be input. So we should, and technically, if we're looking at this, what's going to happen is this has a call and it's going to take a dictionary for input. And this should return some type of dictionary. So it's going to return these buckets. The only problem with it returning these is that it needs to pass those into this next function, which it's not going to be able to do. So what we need to do is, well, we already have an input string, but we need to probably pass the buckets as an aside argument. So yeah, this may not work as we expect it. So a string of the actual input. Okay. So what it's actually going to do, this input, I have a dictionary here, but we're going to say this is a list of, I want to say, this is just buckets actually. Right? But we're going to go string of those buckets. So let's just go ahead and run that. And we're going to pass this prompt, right? Get the buckets in the account. We actually probably don't want get the buckets in the account. We probably want to go here. So this result here, we don't want to do any of that. And so this should be a filter. Let's just do this empty. All right. So I'm failing. I'm dropping the ball on y'all right now. So what we really want to do is we want to say input string, and then we want to pass that in there. So we'll pass that like so. And we'll call this, what is the prompt here? I don't think it has an actual prompt template, so it's going to be the default one. You know what? We want this to be in the context. So let's go ahead and say context string. So just for reference, and y'all saw me struggle through that a little bit because I kind of forgot how this program works after I built it a few days ago. But if we're looking at LightRAG right now, what you can see is you have this default prompt and we have a context string right there. So we can do it like that. Okay, so now let's go back to the program. And it's going to say this doesn't have buckets, which is interesting. So result.buckets isn't even there. So we say from dictionary, we got this function, we run the function, we execute it, and then we go, oh, we do a list parser. Okay, so I don't need the synth here because I was already doing that. I actually merged them together. So just so y'all know, you can go ahead and skip to the end of the video, but I'm going to explain this just really quickly. So what I ended up doing here, and this isn't an all-encompassing lab on this, but I have this S3 tools, and I have a generator that's going to go ahead and generate the initial call, and then I have this list parser, and it's going to go ahead and return the names with the filter. And so if you see here, this string of names is going to be the actual names of the bucket. So it's going to put that list into a string. So the string is going to be the list is going to be a string. And then I pass in this filter here, which if you see down here, I have these filters for both of these. And so what it's supposed to be doing is it's supposed to be filtering on BP data, dev, or econ, or prod, or labeled. So we can run that one more time. And it was already doing it, which is great. So if we look here, BP clean, BP, and then labeled. So this is haiku, right? So I have some that are prod in here, but I don't think it filtered on it did actually. BP date prod. Econ, we got the econ bucket in here somewhere right here. And then we got the label. So let's go ahead and swap this out now for GPT-4o mini. So GPT-4o mini. And we're going to remove this max tokens. And of course, we're just going to go OpenAI client. Now, again, there was another way to do this, but we're just going to do this way. So we see this, we get this output, and that was really fast. So we got econ, we got prod, and we got the label. So we filtered it just as well. So that's the conclusion I got for y'all. Basically, it works as you would expect it to work. It's fast, it's cheap, it's almost as fast as haiku. It looks like there's probably going to be a variance on each call, depending on, obviously, it's non-deterministic, these LLMs, but it's pretty good. So just go ahead and let me know what you thought about this video. Hit the comment section. Tell me what you want to see more of. Tell me what you think I can improve to help you out, y'all. Hit that like button and only hit the like button, you know what I'm saying? Because you know you like this. It was great. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Go check out LightRAG. It's a great LLM application library. And, of course, we're all builders here. So what I want you to go do now is go build some. It's your boy Beef. I'm out. Peace.